Welcome to Noir Pixel History. February is history's deadliest high-pressure experiment. In just 20 days, Tsar Nicholas lost a 300-year empire. Stalin carved the globe in two, and Japanese officers launched a bayonet coup. Let's peel back the frost and enter the winter of fission. Thursday, February 23rd, 1917. Petrograd's bread rationing had functionally collapsed. Tens of thousands of women waited 10 hours in minus 30 degrees Celsius winds, only to be told the flour was gone. This silent hunger was the fuse for the storm. By noon, women workers in the Viborg district broke the silence. They stormed nearby factories, sounding sirens and shouting, "Tools down, to the streets!" By evening, 100,000 had gathered on Nevsky Prospect. February 24th, escalation. The Tsar ordered police and Cossacks to suppress them. But something strange happened. The Cossacks wove through the crowd, but refused to charge. A woman even patted a soldier's horse. He responded with a silent nod. February 26th, Bloody Sunday. The Pavlovsky regiment was ordered to fire. Rifles were cocked, but facing unarmed friends, the ranks fractured. Some fired into the air, only to be forcibly marched back to barracks by officers. The true collapse came dawn on the 27th. Soldiers of the Volinsky regiment, refusing further suppression, shot their officers. This mutiny spread like wildfire. By noon, 40,000 armed soldiers had become bodyguards for the protesters. The Tsar tried to return from the front, but railway workers cut the lines. He was trapped for 2 days on his train in Pskov. One by one, his generals telegraphed, "Sire, only abdication can save Russia." Late night, March 2nd. Nicholas II signed the abdication. There was no heroic resistance, only an exhausted compromise. The Romanovs exited the stage in the February wind, leaving behind a power vacuum. Early 1936. Finance Minister Takahashi was public enemy number one for the military. He adamantly opposed printing money to fill defense voids. To radical officers, he was the primary obstacle to national glory. 3 a.m., February 26th. Tokyo's worst blizzard in 30 years. 1,400 armed men deployed from their barracks, raiding the PM's residence and the homes of senior officials. Their code name, Showa Restoration. Soldiers kicked in Takahashi's door. The 81-year-old sat up and shouted, "Fools!" 6 bullets and multiple bayonet thrusts ended his life. Japan's financial anchor snapped in the snow. Upon learning of the assassinations, Emperor Hirohito exploded in a rare fury. While army brass hesitated to label the soldiers as rebels, the emperor ordered, "They have murdered my closest advisors. This is treason against me." The emperor's wrath chilled the high command. He threatened, "If you don't suppress them, I will personally lead the guard to do it." It was the most direct and cold command ever given to the military. February 29th. Suppression forces surrounded the rebels. Balloons hoisted banners. "Return to your units. It's not too late." Facing the emperor's direct will, the fanaticism crumbled as soldiers surrendered. Though the leaders were executed, the military seized total control of politics. No civilian official dared cut spending again. This February snow finally pushed Japan into total military expansi. February 4th, 1945. Yalta, Crimea. As the heavy doors of the Livadia Palace creaked shut, an 8-day gamble for the fate of the world began. This summer retreat, once belonging to the Tsars, had become a slaughterhouse for the New World Order. The air in the hall was thick and stale, a murky battlefield where Stalin's heavy tobacco smoke clashed with Churchill's expensive cigars. Stalin, the meticulous host, played the generous landlord, yet he had bugged his allies' bedrooms and hidden agents behind the garden trees. The powder keg of the discussion was Poland. Churchill slammed the table, his face flushing as he reminded Stalin that Britain entered the war for Polish independence. It was a matter of British honor. Stalin merely exhaled a cold ring of smoke. his response as biting as Siberian ice. For Britain, Poland is a matter of honor. For the Soviets, it is a matter of security, a corridor of life and death. We will not allow an anti-Soviet government knocking at our door. Roosevelt became the anxious mediator. Through the play of noir shadows, one could see his ashen complexion. Ravaged by heart failure, the American president struggled even to sit upright without support. Desperate to witness the birth of the United Nations before his time ran out, he began yielding step by step on Poland and Germany to secure Stalin's nod on the veto power. He thought he was buying eternal peace. Stalin saw only the fading strength of an aging empire. Regarding Germany's future, the three divided the spoils like family property. A blue pencil struck the map with finality, circling Berlin into the Soviet zone. Stalin insisted on astronomical reparations and total dismemberment of the foe. Churchill tried to preserve Germany as a buffer for Europe, but as Red Army tanks drew closer to Berlin, his arguments grew increasingly toothless. The real deal happened at midnight. Stalin leaned in close to Roosevelt, their whispers shrouded in shadow. To secure a Soviet entry into the war against Japan, Dalian, Port Arthur, and South Sakhalin were sacrificed once more on the altar of the great powers. China, the party most concerned, wasn't even invited into the room. On February 11th, the meeting ended. The big three posed on the porch, offering diplomatic smiles to the cameras. But deep within the pixels, the world had already snapped. The pens of Yalta didn't just draw borders, they drew the Iron Curtain for the next 50 years. This gamble had no winners, only a world forcibly carved in two. Whether bakery shouts, snow night shots, or Yalta's haze. February, the shortest month, nurtures upheaval in its cracks. History has no accidents, only inevitable patterns born from chance. This is noir pixel history. If you're drawn to these fractured moments of the past, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support is the spark that keeps us digging through the frost. Coming up next, the CIA's spy cats, pigeon-guided missiles, and the absurd blueprint to bomb the moon. Have a mystery you want us to deconstruct? Leave a lead in the comments. This is Noir Pixel History. Record file. See you in the next frame.